Saturday morning, finishing up here at Scotty's. Got this much left in this little field. I don't know what it is, 10 acres in here. The big field over there, we got just the short rows at the end, but probably still a good 5 acres. But if you look above the cart, I mean, you can see what kind of hill that is. I don't know, I zoomed in, but it's not that great of a zoom. But that's a steep sumbitch over there too. You get used to working that kind of ground around here, because it's pretty much a lot of the ground that we have, hilly ground. We had a, I don't know what it is, close to 10:30. We had a hell of a frost this morning, yesterday morning too, finally down in the 20s. So corn's still running about 18%, yielding pretty good. On the next farm, there's 55 acres here. I did this headland off because we parked trucks there on the edge of the road. I am getting pretty full. We'll probably be full before John and Barb get the tractor back, but I'm making room for her to park it and then they can start moving trucks and whatnot. There's actually one full truck that's got to be taken home from Scotty's and get emptied. There's an empty truck at home that Barb can bring back after they move around. So basically it's, you know, I mean, we just moved 5 miles or so, 5-6 miles, but there's just the bullshit of getting everything here. And so I know I'm going to be full before I get to the other end of this field, but I don't care because I'm going to be sitting here waiting, so I might as well just get a bin full and turn the radio back up and listen to the Syracuse Notre Dame game. And of course Syracuse blew it last week against Clemson after leading 21-10 at halftime, because in the second half they played not to lose rather than play to win, and it's carrying over into this game because Notre Dame sucks this year and Syracuse is losing 21-7 at halftime. Oh, I think it's time for Dino Babers to go, but alright, enough of that. But so we are over here, like I said, 55 acres down here, about 56 miles or so that way, and then like a little 6-acre piece that way. and 2022 corn will be done. And I'm in a t-shirt. Yeah, October whatever it is, it's almost Halloween. I think Halloween is tomorrow. I don't know. My phone's ringing. I gotta go.
So our darn leg plugged again. Just fixed this the other day. We're not sure what's going on. That's Andy down there.
4 or 5 straight down here.
And while he's down there figuring whatever's going on, I'm up here enjoying.
There's no way I can turn on the spinner. That's the only problem.
Okay.
So I need you to... Alright, the corn is going... Okay, forget the blimp or whatever you're doing. The corn is going to number...
So, leg plug again. Clearly we're having issues with our motor. And the view is still just as nice. We're heading into sunset. It's quite beautiful.
Alright, as you can tell, the sun is basically down. Putting fuel in my truck tank for tomorrow morning. And you can probably also tell you don't hear the dryer running. I did a clip earlier, but it screwed up, so I'm doing it again. We have now twice today come back and had to unplug the grain leg because the motor on top tripped. So I have left a message. I have texted the company I deal with are Mennonites, so it's Saturday night now. I'm not going to see anybody till Monday. But we put a new motor on that because the old motor had been there for, well, forever. 3 years ago when the old motor took a shit. And apparently, I didn't realize this, the old motor was only a 2-horse motor, so that's what they put on it. 2-horse motor ain't cutting it this year with 17% corn flying through the dryer. The test weight's been awesome for us. I mean, here 56 to 58 pounds is really good corn. So I know out west that's, you know, probably bad corn, but yeah, that's good corn for us in the Northeast. So I'm gonna go back out in a couple hours, maybe 8:30ish, turn it back on and see if it'll run overnight. It ran last night perfectly fine, and it ran for the first half of today until it got, I mean, we've had crazy ass weather. I mean, they're talking right through next weekend, 60s and pushing possibly in the low 70s for a day or two. I mean, it's been great for harvest. But we found out apparently that a 2-horsepower motor, after all these years on top of that, is not enough horsepower for really dry corn. And I know some of y'all west are like 17, 18%. That ain't dry. If you were farming in the Northeast, we don't usually see below 20% corn very, very, very often. I mean, not very often at all. So, and we're seeing, well, we're in the midst of, you know, the last 100 acres we've done has been 17, 18% corn. And obviously the next 100 acres that we got to do looks like it's going to be 17, 18% corn. So, and possibly even drier. Sometimes the dryer's reading in the low 17s, high 16s. So I need a bigger motor on that. So hopefully I can empty the wet bin tonight. So that'll get about 100 ton into the, we can fill that up tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a short day. We'll run it again tomorrow night, Sunday night, and have it empty for Monday morning when hopefully they can come and put, I don't know, maybe a 5-horse motor up there. Yeah, it's going to cost me money, and now I'm going to have a 2-horse motor laying around that I really have no use for. But, and yes, this is the first time, although the old one did take a shit for a reason, and this one has tripped a few times in the past 3 or 4 years since it was put on. So yeah, maybe we're just plain and simple under horsepowered. So all right, I'm gonna finish filming this, go in the house, take a shower, and eat dinner. So early night tonight. Yeah, 6:30. Imagine that. Well, here we are 3 hours later. I've turned it on. Got shit on lens. We'll see what happens. It's like 43 degrees out. It's chilly, so I'm hoping the motor don't get hot. I mean, yes, for those that'll ask, I mean, Jeff Remo and I were just talking about it. I could take this off of auto. I could put it on manual. I mean, you see what we're dealing with, 17% corn. So I could put this on manual. I could set the temperature. The only problem is then you'd have to, you know, like every, I don't know, at least every hour check it, because I could run the manual rate slower and do manual temperature. But the thing is with these dryers, and you farmers will get this, you non-farmers, I'm trying to explain it to you. I mean, normally that number right there is set at 220. I mean, we're running, it's telling it to run around 115, it's running around 120, 122 right now. I mean, it's hardly, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just plain and simple. I don't want to go back to, you know, manually doing things like I did my 1987 dryer. That's why I bought this in 2012. We've never, like I don't mean to repeat myself, but we've just never had a year like this where we've literally had, you know, hundreds of acres of corn that's now being 17-18%. That's not normal. I've slowed my rate down. Normally it's 70% is max for this. I slowed it down to 65, but that's also going to make that number there, the dry corn, really drier than what it's actually saying by slowing my rate down. And I don't want to over dry the living piss out of it, so I don't want 12-13% corn. But the problem is my leg was a 40-foot leg, I think, that I bought used years ago, like close to 20 years ago. We've added 40 foot to it. It's actually, I think it's like 78. It's close to 80 foot. You will have seen in a previous video, probably the one before this, I don't know, because we always have a couple videos ahead done. All the new work we just did to the leg up top. So I'm thinking, if it's just a simple matter of putting a bigger motor on it, I'll spend the $700-800 bucks, $1,000 whatever, to put a bigger motor on the damn thing. But it ran fine last night when the wet bin was full. I'm hoping it'll do the same. If it does, tomorrow we'll go pick, unfortunately, like 120 ton, that's it. And then run it tomorrow night and hope Monday morning they can come. Maybe there's something wrong, I don't know, something electrical wrong, but it doesn't seem, I don't think so. I think it's because Barb said the motor was warm when she was up there and she felt it. So, yeah, I mean, the temperature right now is at 108 degrees. We're hardly putting any heat on this corn. And no, I'm not going to dump 17% corn straight into the bin, not here. No, just not. So if it was 15%, I'd run it through the dryer with on auto or on manual with no heat. But I'm not going to put 17-18% corn in a bin. We live in the Northeast. I can't stress that enough. This is the Northeast. It's different from where a lot of you live in the Midwest, temperature-wise and weather-wise and humidity-wise and all that kind of shit. All the wises. So, alright, I'm just going to walk out my door on the porch every now and then and hope I can hear it running and go watch some college football. Because I ain't got nothing else to do now. Alright, so I've been standing here for about 10 minutes. The temperature has kind of settled itself now at 150 degrees. That's where it thinks it needs to be. The wet corn's showing 17.7% right now. It's coming out at 15.1, which means it's probably really coming out in the 14s, which is fine, because here's another thing that I want to stress. I know you farmers will understand what I'm saying, you non-farmers. There's what they call the standard industry dry for grains, and for corn it's 15.5%. For soybeans it's 13%. Well, here's the problem. Some of the feed mills that our corn goes to, they want it 15% or below. So they will dock you for over 15%. I think it's bullshit if the standard across the country is supposed to be 15.5. Then lower the standard to 15 if that's the way it's going to be. I don't know. But so we try to put it in the bin. Everything that's contracted now, because we don't have enough space, I try to keep right around 15 or a little below so that we don't get docked, to get it out of here. The stuff that's going to sit in these bins throughout the winter that will freeze once we get real cold weather this winter, that stuff I try to get between 14 and 14.5, especially if you're going to be keeping corn into June, July of next year when you're back into 80, 90 degree weather. So it's a game for you non-farmers that you got to play with so that you don't, you know, have hot spots in your bin, spoil your corn, crap like that. And fans will only do so much. So, but I'm hoping now it's like 148, so right around 150 seems to be where it wants to be. So we'll just see if it runs all night long. Then I know it's the motor without a doubt, getting hot from running so continuously fast and from or being such a heavy load on it so fast because it's coming out of the dryer so heavy. And we'll just see. Like I said, we'll pick corn tomorrow until the wet bin's full, the trucks are full, maybe even fill the cart, and hope Monday morning I get them here and we put probably a 5-horse motor on it or something. I don't know. I know this isn't exciting, I'm sorry, but it's just, it seems to be this fall one thing after another. But I'm not going to bitch too much because, like I said, it's, you know, we're 2 days I think away from November 1st, and they show beautiful right through the first week in November with 60s and even hitting 70. That's just unreal shit for around here. So we're not used to combining a lot of corn that's below 20%. Have we done it before? Yes. But have we combined 100 acres like we just did the past couple days? No. Or have we combined the next 100 acres that are going to get us done? I mean, have I ever combined 200 acres before that's been below 20%? No. Not a chance in hell. So it's a good thing, but it's also causing me an ass ache with this. And we've had enough ass aches with a lot of things this year, but I'm thankful to God for the yields that we're getting, because they're way better than what we thought we'd get. And the weather, that's for sure. Haven't needed those tracks yet, and probably won't. That's a good sign. It's empty. Look, it's Skylar. He cleaned the dryer. You'll see more of him when we clean equipment when we're done. So that means it ran all night. Well, actually, I can tell you when it ran till 3 a.m. was the last time this registered. 3 a.m. So yes, the heater's on. It's cold and frosty again this morning. So it's sunny though. So it dried all night. So, well, till 3 a.m. from when I turned it on at whatever it was, 8. So we have the new kind of dryer called the nighttime dryer, apparently. You can only run it at night. Yeah, no, more like nighttime leg. So yes, that tells me we don't have an electrical issue. We have an underpowered motor up there. And we've just found that out this year because it's been wicked warm lately and the corn has been very dry. Again, you can see the last corn that went through it was 17.7%. So we need a bigger motor up there. Alright, I'm going to end this video because there's enough BS on this one. But so today we will go fill the wet bin, fill the trucks, maybe fill the cart, do as much as we can, and tonight I will turn it back on. And tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. when they're supposedly going to be at their shop, I will call and see if we can get somebody here to put a bigger motor on it. So go check out the Grumpy Farmer apparel. Just push on the link.